No, not possible. No problems. No problems. Hi, hello, and welcome. We are live from Centurion, and with me, I have my colleague and a very astute mind in sportscasting, Mr. David Brooks. David, if you can hear me.
Hearing you loud and clear. Can you hear me, Sunil?
Absolutely. Good morning, David. What time is it in London? It's
It's
10. Yeah.
8:38 on on Boxing Day morning.
Well, it's a fantastic morning. Not that we expected something like this last night when we went off to sleep, because the clouds were overcast shadow. It was raining, and it rained pretty heavily last evening. But one interesting point, and I could want to tell all our viewers who all are watching us, is that they could only cover the 40% of the inner, I mean, of the cricket ground, and not the entire. Now, that is something which is very new, considering that it's a high profile match, it's a big match, it's a Boxing Day match. What do you think of it, David? Should there be a regular provision that all cricket matches should be covered from boundary to boundary?
Well, it does seem poor, doesn't it? Given the importance of this occasion, I guess the quality of the drainage and exactly how much water has fallen. I mean, how wet is it out there, Sunil?
See, what we saw yesterday and this morning, there is some dampness. The drainage system is very good. But the basic fundamental point is when it's raining, the outcast and the outfield can also cause problem.
Mm.
So I think you've got to cover it. What do you say? I mean, that's the
Well,
fundamental point. All the
yeah,
matches, international.
sure. In the modern age, you've got to do everything you can to ensure the entertainment takes place, and that would seem to be one of the basic prerequisites.
Right, absolutely. It's the situation out here. It looks exactly like one nice village in England. It's got long trees, birds chirping. It's got long drives, no other cars on the left or the right side. Uh, it's a very picturesque town, I must say.
And it sounds like there's a bit of English weather as well.
Absolutely. You can't keep the cricket and weather away from England, can you? But coming back onto the team, what do you think of the composition of the team overall? Do you think India is prepared? Do you think the scars of the World Cup are still causing them a little bit of a problem?
Well, I suppose one of the interesting talking points is seeing KS Rao being given the gloves. I think he's only kept in one first class match in his career. It obviously strengthens the batting, and Dravid was pretty confident that Rao, if he keeps him white ball, can do it with the red ball game over a longer period too. Um, the the suggestion, I haven't seen the final team, but the suggestion was that Ashwin would be the one omitted. Is that likely given the
Yes.
conditions? Would you say, Sunil?
Well, we'll come to the team composition in a while. Jadeja is out. What I hear, because I have to go back into the stadium and find out more. But what I can tell you right now is that India is looking completely formidable. In fact, I did ask Rahul Dravid this question that, hey, do you think there is a bit of a problem? There is a bit of a history that we were so close and yet so far. So he acknowledged the fact that
Mm.
some of the things that India played were very close. And that's what we need to keep on playing, the good brand of cricket. But I don't understand the good brand, good brand. What is this good brand? I mean, just tell us about the brand and then we'll come to the brand masters.
English cricket's faced this with the brand called Bazball. Well, that really is a brand, isn't it? Because everyone knows the style in which they play. Does India yet have a recognizable style in which they approach every game? Does it matter if they do or if they don't? Should they approach each game according to the conditions?
Right.
Yeah, that's the interesting
But
point.
but there is no brand. Brand is when you have consistency in following. Here you're going with seamers, then you're going with bowlers, the spin attack, and they're polishing off the wicket. Then in next match you're going with the all rounders. So I think India is yet to form the brand, and would you agree that there is only something called the only the English brand of cricket is called the baseball brand of cricket. What do you say? And
Well,
that's
yeah, I mean,
consistent.
baseball has its detractors as well because it implies that you approach each game with the same style, and maybe Dravid is more canny than that. That he's said that it's better to assess the conditions and play the team, play the way that match allows you to do. So maybe to have one approach across all games is not necessarily the way to go. But yeah, I've heard the term used so many times now; it's almost been devalued, hasn't it? Surely
Absolutely
what supporters want to see is a winning team, and they
correct.
don't really care if it's a different approach according to the conditions.
So here is the team that I'm going to read out to you very openly. It's Rohit Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, yes, KL Rahul, R. Ashwin, Shardul Thakur, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, and guess what? Prasiddha Krishna.
Hmm.
Now, two names that stand out to me are Shreyas Iyer, Prasidh Krishna, and the omission of R. Jadeja. Now, what do you make of that?
Well, it's a surprise. The speculation before
Yes,
was which one of Thacker and Ashwin, and the fact they both got in at the expense of Jadeja is a surprise. Would it be fair to say that his batting has just dropped off a little bit in recent times, and perhaps it's more a statement of how important our Ashwin is to the team in these conditions? I mean, it's hard to leave Ashwin out of any side given his record, and
absolutely.
perhaps I think he probably deserves his chance. I mean, Deja was always the first name on the team sheet for me, but perhaps that the halos just slipped a little in the last 12 months.
Absolutely, and it's got a lot of problem to the original composition of the team winning India. But I think they're trying themselves for a replacement for the next WTC cycle, which is currently they're playing the first match. Incidentally, what do you think of Prasidh Krishna? I haven't seen much except for bowling in the nets. Do you get any grasp of Prasidh Krishna?
Well, he's very early in his test career, isn't it? And one hears good
He
things
makes his
about
debut.
him. Yeah,
Yeah, he makes
a
his
debut,
debut.
yeah,
Yeah.
and not a lot of first class cricket behind him. I mean, I
Yeah.
understand that he is a hit the deck type bowler, which I guess is what they'll be looking for in the absence of Shami. But it's big shoes to fill, isn't it, Sunil?
Absolutely. But you also have Shardul Thakur, again, a bowler that hits the deck little fast, little hard, and then gets the ball speeding.
Well, I'm pleased to see Thacker in there. I mean, he's a wholehearted performer, always gives his best, and is likely to come up with either runs or wickets when they're needed. So, at the end of the day, I'm happy to see Ashwood given a go. He's had to bite his time on the sidelines throughout the World Cup. He must be raring to go.
Absolutely. I mean, he's always got a point to prove, and he makes a what a steamy. I mean, what a steaming kind of a comeback, and he just bowls. He does his dusra, he does his tisra, he does everything. He's got every trick in the trade. He's an old fox. I mean, wily fox.
He's one of the outstanding spin bowlers of this generation, and yeah, you want him out there on the field. You don't want him on the sidelines carrying the drinks. If that was the case, you should leave him out the squad. No, he's worth his place. He should be in the team. Indian fans want to see him playing on the field, so he deserves his opportunity today to get back on the pitch.
Well, absolutely. Well, the statistical fact here remains that for every match India has won, South Africa has won more or less four test match. So this seems to be a little tougher thing, and we are sure that we're going to get some more runs on the board. We're going to get more confidence as the match progresses. But very interesting point. I asked Themba Bavuma in the presser that day that considering these are the overcast conditions, considering India gets into bat first, considering that your bowlers know and can trouble the Indian batters, don't you think so? You guys are at more advantage than India. he paused for a second and he said, "No, but India is a good side. So I don't think so that we have any uh, unusual advantage, and we can't negate it. That India is a stronger side as compared to other two. In fact, you would be very happy to know that I interviewed Omar Henry, and it got
Mhm.
published. The first colored uh, player, who also is the third player in the history of cricket to have played for two countries. Scotland as well as South
Oh,
Africa.
yes.
The other Kepler Wessels was the other one, and the third one I can't pronounce his name, but he played in the early 1900s. But when you look at that person, he says, "I'm very clear. If India has to win the series, the top three batters have to perform, and top three bowlers. And this is the only series where the composition is falling into place." He didn't even say India is going to draw the series 1-all. He says outright win for India. Do you think that that's a news thing that you've heard, or is it just a headline, a great headline?
Well, it's one of the strange quirks of history that India's never won a test series in South Africa. And, with only the two tests scheduled, it means that this first game is so important, isn't it? If you
Right.
win, you can't lose the series if you win that first match. We just want, I mean, I'm sure all Indian fans just want to see this game starting and get it underway. And, the local weather conditions hopefully will allow that. But yeah, I think that India are strong favourites. They look a stronger team. But South Africa, we were impressed with their batting in the World Cup. And we know what their bowlers are capable of on in home conditions. So it is a tough assignment for India. As you say, it's the first in this new WTC cycle. So there's a lot riding on it.
Well, absolutely. There's good writing on it. Well, it's time for us to just quickly wrap up this discussion. Head on to the stadium, and in the lunchtime, when India faces whatever the first 2 hours, they're going to be very treacherous. Let's regroup then, David, and have a quick chat and see where the world is going. And you watch it from there, and we watch it from Centurion live. Thank
Great
you,
to talk
David.
to you, Sunil. And I
Always a
hope the
pleasure.
weather allows us to get back on there.
Absolutely. 2 hours of great cricket. Let's hope that. All right. Take care. Bye bye.
Thanks, Sunil.